Honorable Chief Guest, His Excellency Mr. Virat Sadi Patakul, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Thailand. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We welcome Honorable Chief Guest.
Namaste. Your Royal Highness, Excellency, my dear friends, Kun Prem and his son, and Kun Ravi, and several old friends here who is on these distinguished panels and distinguished guests. It is a great honor for me, I think, to be invited to speak today at the 11th International Achievers Summit on the theme Global Business Opportunities at a time of great dynamism and growth in Asia. Today, the rise of India is irrefutable, with stronger than ever economic fundamentals, an average GDP growth rate of over 7%, an immense domestic market with a thriving middle class, and the world's largest working age population at over 60% of the total population of India. And the Indian government's vast infrastructure projects and flagship schemes such as Make in India, Smart Cities, and Digital India will also help to further propel India's rise. At the same time, the Thai economy is on a positive trajectory, with growth this year expected to be 4.7%. 4 years ago, when this government took power, the growth rate was about 0.9%. The EC, the Eastern Economic Corridor project on our southeastern part of Thailand is moving ahead and will transform Thailand into a logistics and investment hub for Southeast Asia. In the next 5 years, the Thai government will be investing nearly $50 billion on the Eastern Economic Corridor. And we would like to invite our Indian friends to consider participating in the creation of the largest spatial economic zone in Southeast Asia. And Thailand's 4.0 economic policy will also drive the economic growth through innovation and technology. Given our strengths and high hopes, now is the time for both of us to further connect our two economies and elevate trade and investment ties. And we have a good basis to build on, with bilateral trade growing steadily and expected to be almost 25% higher this year than last year. And last year's trade between our two countries was worth $10.3 billion. And the bilateral investment last year was valued at $1.65 billion. These figures, though remarkable, do not reflect the true potential of economic cooperation, as Kudravi pointed out, and the immense capacity of the Indian economy. So let us do more together. We are all friends, Thailand and India, and it was the trade ply between India and Thailand since the early centuries of the first millennium that brought us together and allowed some of our greatest empires to flourish. For example, the Chola dynasty in South India and the Sriwijaya dynasty in southern Thailand. Over 1,000 years ago, merchants had to traverse dangerous seas with only sails and oars in order to transport gems, spices, timber to each other's shores. If our ancestors prevailed in spite of the overwhelming difficulties, we in the first 20th century have no excuses. Indeed, the physical link between our two sides are now better than ever. Air, sea, and land connectivity is being constantly developed to seamlessly link India with Thailand, helping to enhance the flow of goods, peoples, and services. The India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway project is in its final phase and will create a crucial land bridge from Moreh in Manipur to Mesot district on the Thai-Burmese border. And in this connection, I also would like to inform you that the Thai government has discussed with the Japanese government to consider financing the building of a railway in parallel to this trilateral highway connecting India to Thailand. And we have told the Japanese that once this trilateral highway finish next year, connecting to our highway in Thailand. We will connect with our east-west corridor with Laos, and then connected with highway in Laos and all the way to Vietnam to Da Nang. So we have suggested to the Japanese government to consider building a railway in parallel to this trilateral highway, so that in the future the land bridge will consist of the highway, from northeast India all the way through Myanmar, to Thailand, to Laos, and to the Pacific Ocean of the Vietnamese coast. And so we suggest to them that they should consider financing the construction of the railway parallel to this trilateral highway, so that it could be the rail link between Calcutta and Da Nang. And this, so in the next probably 5 years from now, there will be this land bridge linking the subcontinent, the Indian Northeast with Southeast Asia all the way to the Pacific. And this will totally transform, I think, the economic environment between our two regions. And also, we also plan to upgrade our maritime link with India through our Ranong deep sea port, which will further link Southeast Asia with key ports in South Asia, including Chennai and Calcutta. And in this connection, Thailand, Japan, and Myanmar are cooperating in building the first deep sea port on the Indian Ocean in the world. And there has already been a discussion between the Chennai port authorities and the World authorities, and as well as the Calcutta port authorities and the World authorities, to link these three ports together. So this will also be a maritime link between Southeast Asia and India. And Thailand, of course, we would be pleased to serve as a logistical gateway for India's trade with the countries in Indochina, or the 5 mainland countries, of Southeast Asia. And also want to inform you that last June, the Thai government hosted the summit meeting between the leaders of 5 mainland Southeast Asian countries, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Thailand. And they have already authorized a master blueprint of connectivity between these 5 countries. There will be a seamless transport infrastructure, digital connectivity, and energy grids. And we hope that 5 years from now, when these projects are finished, all the mainland 5 Southeast Asian countries will be a single, seamless chain of production on mainland Southeast Asia. And the present total population of these 5 mainland Southeast Asian countries is about 235 million, and growing very fast and very well connected. Already, more than 125 million of these 235 million people are already connected through the internet. And e-commerce among us is growing at a rate of 17 to 18% per year. So in the future, 5 years from now, we will have the land bridge linking Northeast India to 5 mainland Southeast Asian countries. And this will provide a logistical framework linking to sub-regions. So I urge our Indian friends and colleagues to consider investing in Thailand and also other mainland Southeast Asia. And distinguished guests, the private sector have a key role to play in all of this. Major Thai corporations such as CP, Italian Thai, and Thai Summit are already active in the more traditional sectors of the Indian economy, such as agriculture, construction, automobiles, and electronics. And just 3 weeks ago, I was in New Delhi, welcoming Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri to open a new chancery in our embassy in New Delhi. And I was staying at the Leela Hotel in New Delhi, and I was told that Minor Group hotel chain in Thailand is negotiating with the Leela Group to buy the Leela Group at a cost about $350 million. And that will mark, the major presence of Thailand, in India. So the horizon is expanding, I think, in terms of business connection. And my foreign minister just visited, Indian foreign minister, just 2 weeks ago. And your foreign minister suggested to my foreign minister that in India now we are pursuing, Act East policy, while Thailand, has been pursuing what we call Look West policy. And she said to my foreign minister that why don't you change from just look West policy to Act West policy, so that Act East of India and Act West of Thailand, will meet. And as Kunravi mentioned, Thailand and India were already partners in creating links between our two regions. We were both founding members of BIMSTEC, and BIMSTEC is a sub-regional, not really sub-regional, it's really inter-regional framework cooperation between South Asia and Southeast Asia. There are 5 members, as Kunravi said, on the Indian side, with India and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan. On the Southeast Asian side, Myanmar and Thailand. And already, they are working on a master plan of connectivity between the two regions. And I had the opportunity 2 years ago during the informal BIMSTEC summit in Goa of presenting to His Excellency Prime Minister Modi the idea of connectivity, enhancing connectivity among the 7 countries who are members of the BIMSTEC, and he gave a blessing. So last year at the ministerial meeting in Nepal, they have agreed to set up working group to draw up a master plan of connectivity between the 7 countries. And we also talked with India also that at present India has an economic cooperation framework with the 5 countries in mainland Southeast Asia called Mekong Ganga. Here Mekong is the principal river in the region, and Ganga is the principal. But when I at the Delhi dialogue, I suggested that there is another river that people forgot, is Brahmaputra. And so actually we should look at what you call 5 river cooperation, which I dubbed Panchathara. Mekong, Brahmaputra, first Ganga, Brahmaputra, Mekong, Chapaya, and Mekong. So, I missed one, Ayeyarwady in Myanmar. So if we link the economies of Ganga, of Brahmaputra, of Ayeyarwady, of Chapaya, and of Mekong, you will have sub-regional cooperation, which will be a bigger framework for BIMSTEC cooperation in the future. So we are talking not only bilateral increase in terms of trade, investment, and tourism, and really welcomes Indian tourists. And I'm very pleased to see statistics that each year, Indian couples came to Thailand to conduct grand weddings, about 300 grand weddings, every year. And we are very pleased, especially for these grand weddings, because they book the whole hotel sometimes for 1 month to celebrate the wedding. And each year, I think Bollywood shot about 700 films in Thailand. So we are very pleased with people-to-people cooperation, and I think it augurs well, I think, for the enhancement of our bilateral cooperation in the future, and also our Indian and Thailand cooperation, in the Indo-Pacific region. And in this connection, when I was at the Delhi dialogue, I remember your Indian foreign minister, making a very short statement, but very powerful statement. And she said, the center of the global economy is shifting to the Indo-Pacific region. And we all know why, because of the rise of India. And when President Trump sent a letter of invitation last year to my Prime Minister to visit the White House, at the end of the letter he wrote, we would like to discuss with you cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region. So, and the United States has already renamed its Pacific Command in Hawaii as Indo-Pacific Command. So, in the present age of the rise of India, Thailand is honored I think, to be a part of India, not only in bilateral economic cooperation and political cooperation, secure cooperation, but we are also honored to be part of India in the regional stage and to help together, I think, to build the building blocks of the Indo-Pacific community in the future. And let me speak on behalf of the Thai government that we very much welcome, our Indian friends, the businessmen, the people who come as tourists, and also for your weddings here, please be reassured that Thailand is always open to you, because we regard India not only as friends and as the future power, and the present and the future power in this region, but also as our guru, and that's why I have to explain my attire this evening. I was taking the members of the diplomatic corps, including your new ambassador and her husband, to view His Majesty the King's Winter Festival, Hunai Rak. I think many of you have heard of this festival. I would like to urge all of you to take this festival, because it's quite a rare opportunity, I think, to be able to sample the products of the royal projects, both in terms of Thai silk, handicrafts, and also the food which you will not find anywhere else, because half the food there is from the palace, and so I would like to invite all of you, I think, to visit, the His Majesty the King's Winter Festival with Iraq, and getting to know more about Thai culture. So thank you very much again for inviting me here, and best wishes, I think, to the